Hey everybody! It has been a while since I've made a Deep Rock Galactic analysis video, or whatever you call this genre. That has been for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest ones is that the developers take summer off, so we've had absolutely no new content to work with. But we've got some new teasers recently, so I finally have something new to talk about. So for those of you who aren't aware, in the next update we're getting 4 new grenades, 1 for each class, as well as a new type of enemy to fight against. We don't have all the details, but over the course of the past 4 weeks or so, we've been getting new teasers. Now, right away, some of you might be wondering why I didn't make a video sooner, since, like I said, we've been getting teasers for 4 weeks now. And the reason for that is because these teasers are like 15 seconds long at most. I can't make a video out of that. There's not enough to talk about. But now that we've got all 4 of the new grenades revealed, as well as a little bit of information about what that new threat is, I think I finally have enough to work with here. So I'll start the video by sharing my thoughts on the new grenades, and then we can talk about whatever this new threat we're going to be fighting is. So the first grenade revealed was for the Scout, called the Ghost Ship Games, stop making these names hard to pronounce. I can't stand it. The Stun Sweeper. The Stun Sweeper. There. It appears to be a boomerang that bounces from enemy to enemy, electrocuting them and stunning them for what seems to be a fairly long period of time. This falls in line with the rest of Scout's grenades, which never kill bugs, more so just incapacitate, weaken, or distract them. What I find interesting about this is how absolutely devastating it appears to be to swarmers. It just one-shots them immediately. So if you have a large group of swarmers coming your way, this grenade seems like a pretty good choice. Of course, that doesn't mean it's bad for bigger bugs. I mean, just look how long it stuns them, and it's likely to do a fair bit of damage as well. What I think the most interesting thing about this grenade is how it returns back to you after you throw it. None of the other grenades do this, except for technically Driller's impact axes if you miss and then pick them up again. So what exactly does this mean? Does it get infinite ammo? Or is it on a cooldown of some kind? Or maybe it's just a purely visual thing, which would be kinda lame, but understandable. Regardless, I'm looking forward to learning more about how this grenade works. Next up, we've got the Driller's new grenade, the Spring-Loaded Ripper, which is just the perfect grenade for a Driller. It's really straightforward. It's basically just a lawnmower that moves on its own that you just unleash onto the bugs. And it can move on walls and on ceilings and just sort of wherever you throw it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this thing works with the sometimes janky terrain. Of course, speaking of terrain, that kind of leads into what I think this grenade's biggest problem is, which is it doesn't work particularly well in larger open caves. Now, it does a fantastic job in small tunnels, and being a grenade for Driller, that's really good because you can make small tunnels whenever you need to. Looks like the bunker strat's been given a bit of a buff. But then there's the downside. You're not always going to be in those small caves, so you're going to have to really make use of the terrain and how it's shaped in order to get the maximum efficiency out of this thing. I think it could work well if you did a very combat-oriented build for your satchel charges, but I think we're going to have to take some time to play around with this thing and test it out. Then we've got the Engineer's new grenade, the Shredder Swarm. This one looks like a lot of fun. You basically summon a bunch of hacked Shredder drones from the rival company and sick them out on the bugs. I don't know about you guys, but I found the Shredder drones to be pretty annoying, so I'm very happy to have them on my side. Despite it being probably my favorite grenade conceptually, I don't have too much to say about it because there's so many unknowns here. It looks decently effective, but we have no idea how long the drones last for. Are they permanent and only go away when they're destroyed? Or do they have like a set time limit? I am all for Engineer having new helpers to summon, but I honestly can't really tell how good this grenade's gonna be without seeing it in action a little bit more, and maybe trying it out myself. And finally for the grenades, we have the Tactical Lead Burster. This is the gunner's new grenade, as you may have guessed, and it is very fitting. You essentially just toss out a little minigun that spins in circles and fires rapidly at any targets that might be nearby. I love this grenade, not only because it basically gives Gunner his own little turret, but because it sort of combines my favorite features of the Cluster Bomb and the Incendiary grenade. It seems like it'll have high damage similar to the Cluster Bomb, while having the reliable pattern of the Incendiary. This game has a couple grenades that, unless you know how they interact with the terrain, can be very hard to use optimally, and so it's very nice to have something that's incredibly simple and reliable. Well, those were the grenades, but we're not quite done yet. We still have to talk about this new mysterious threat that's appeared. Now, unlike the grenades, which are pretty straightforward, there's not much information here, so this is going to be mostly speculation on my end, but I still think it'd be interesting to try and guess at what we're going to see next. When teasing the next season, Ghost Ship Games told us it would not be robots we'd be fighting, and boy did they deliver. Some people thought we might be fighting elves or orcs or even gnomes, but I don't think this is any of those things. It looks like some kind of invasive fungal or plant matter is growing all over these biomes. It looks like they brought along some new creatures, although if we look carefully, they're not actually new. These are just the parasites from the parasite mutator, but with new models. Now, that's not to say for sure they are one and the same. It looks like maybe they've been mutated, or maybe this is where they originally come from. Now, personally, I think it is a mutation. I mean, if this weird plant fungus thing, whatever, was just bringing new bugs along with it, that wouldn't be too much of a problem for Deep Rock. But if we look at this teaser here, the mission terminal has lit up red. Seems like this isn't just more bugs. Maybe whatever this stuff is mutating the existing bugs and making them even stronger. That certainly seems like it would be something that Deep Rock Galactic would be worried about. It also would explain the new tools they are apparently giving us. At the end of this trailer, we see what look like two guns lying next to the mission select terminal. Some people are theorizing that these are new weapons they're adding, but I don't think so. It's a little early for that. What I think they are tools specially designed to deal with whatever this new threat might be. Now, I have absolutely no idea how that's going to work in game, but that's what I think's going on here. Also, while looking at this footage here, I noticed something strange in the background. Next to the deep dive terminal, there looks to be a large machine with some kind of glass tank maybe in it. Perhaps a part of this new season is going to be collecting samples of whatever this new weird plant fungus material is and analyzing it to try and find out more about this threat. But regardless of whatever that new machine is, I am incredibly excited for the next update, and I can't wait for more teasers. I'll try to keep you guys up to date with everything, assuming there's enough in the teasers for me to actually talk about. Until then, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you later.